This is our first Ask Me Anything response. And one of the first questions I got is something that I hear a lot about, which is when do I use a non-disclosure agreement? A quick little synopsis: a non-disclosure agreement is an agreement between two parties where certain information that is going to be provided would be confidential. These can be what we call bilateral agreements where both parties are giving confidential information back and forth, and whatever they, as the receiving party, get, they will keep confidential. Or it could be unilateral, where one party is giving another party information. What we try to do is to make sure that we use these only when true confidential information is going to be provided. A lot of times in connection with a fundraising round or even a purchase or sale of a company, there's a lot of general discussions that take place that don't involve any sort of confidential information such as financials or any certain type of business secrets for the operations. But when we get to that level, after there's been enough of a, I guess, non-confidential discussion to the point that it needs to move to the next level, we typically put in place a confidentiality agreement. Those confidentiality agreements have some key components that you want to make sure you have. One, it's identifying what is confidential information. Sometimes that information is described as whatever a reasonable and prudent person would think is confidential. Well, that leaves a little bit too much for interpretation, in my opinion. Many times what we want to do is we want to make sure we're specific in what is confidential and what is non-confidential to make sure that we're protecting our information. This can be listing that information specifically in your non-disclosure agreement, or making sure that we mark things and require her to mark things that are truly confidential when they are handed off. Now, I will tell you the confidentiality agreements, non-disclosure agreements are used a lot. And I always urge caution because any contract is only as good as the parties that are making that. You want to make sure that you trust the person you're doing business with. Because in order to go and enforce a non-disclosure agreement, it will cost you tens of thousands of dollars. And if someone's looking to just go in and grab this, a piece of paper isn't going to stop their bad acts. So no matter what you do, make sure that you're working with a trusted co-party on the other side before you ever get to the point of actually signing a non-disclosure agreement or actually giving them confidential information. I look forward to the next time we get to talk about some of these questions. See you next time.